Hello everyone, my name is John. For those who don't know me, I am one of the oldest members at SpinBeast. Today I decided to create a video for you. Our topic will be Prob, but in general I would like to highlight the importance of having a well-constructed default strategy. So in this video we will not focus on adjustments. We know that adjustments are crucial to crash spin and goes and every poker format. This is what best players do. Best players are those who have a solid, well-structured game plan, and at the same time they are able to adjust and exploit properly and fast. But from my experience so far, many people, especially those who play mid and lower stakes, they do some mistakes, some serious mistakes when they have to deal with adjustments. One important mistake is that they over-adjust to some reads that they develop during the game. Another mistake is that they have wrong anticipation and knowledge about population frequencies. And last thing is that they over-adjust to the HUD information that they have. So as you can see here, there are some important factors always to consider when we have to decide not only about probe but for every single situation, every single spot, and these are positions, pre-flop action, stack depth, opponent, stake, and all the available information that we have. We start with a default game plan, which is a well-constructed strategy with good ranges, and all these things are related to factors 1, 2, and 3, and then we try to exploit our opponents. There are two parts. There are some default adjustments that we always do according to factor 4 and 5, and there are also the adjustments that we do according to factor 6, which is the available information that we get during the game. Okay, I prepared 3 hands. First hand is big blind versus button situation. Okay, so button opens, we defend with 9-6 suited, we check, button check, and then we have to decide if we want to probe here or not. In this example I check folds. Let's do some analysis. So I used PioSolver to find some solution, and we are going to discuss some interesting things and details. In this turn, our value bets looks clear. We have Queen X plus and Jack X. As you can see, Jack X aren't high frequency value bets, but we still want to value bet some of them. The important and more interesting thing is the bluff part. It is obvious that in these boards we have a lot of draws, hands like 5-4, 6-5, 10-9, King-10, all these hands are draws. We have flush draws also. So our best bluffs are those who have some equity. As you can see here, all the flush draws, straight draws are good bluffs. The next interesting thing is how we play some rivers, and this is very important because many players do a lot of mistakes in these situations. Okay, let's see some rivers. In this example I folded, but we can see some rivers and discuss. Okay, when river is 7 of spades. When river is 7 of spades, all the draws are busted. our value bets are clear. We have Queen X, Jack X, and our bluffs. Now, if we think about which are our best bluffs here, as you can see, high frequency bluffs are those who are low busted draws and low frequency with high cards. And why that? Going back on the turn, as we can see, we bluff with high frequency, a lot of King 10 off, King 9 off, some ace high, gutshots, and here we have to decide which bluffs are the best. In order to doing that, first of all, let's do some maths. Okay. So we bet 7.6 big blind on the river. It means that our opponent gets 29% pot odds. What does it mean? That he has to call 71% to protect himself by being exploited. And what does it mean for us, for our value to bluff ratio? It means that in general we have to value bet from our whole betting range. Around 29% should be bluffs and 71% should be value hands. And this way versus a good opponent that plays also a balanced, we have also a balanced range, it means that we will have a break-even results if he's doing well also. Okay, so what does it mean in practice? Our value combos in this specific example are 115 combos. Okay, so when we found that our value combos are 115, it means that our overall, we are in the wrong example, our overall betting combos are around 162 minus the value combos. We have to bluff with around 47 combos. The problem is that we have to choose which are the best bluff combos and bet them. So about the bluff combos and which are the best bluffs are not those who are the worst hand in absolute strength. It is very important to understand that best bluffs are those who are the best in relative strength with our total bluffs. In this specific example, we can see that 5-4 off is a much better bluff than King 10 off. And why that? Again, we have to choose some of our bluffs and we have to choose the best. Which are the important factors when we have to consider about how good is a bluff? The main things are the showdown value, if we have any showdown value, and the second thing is the removal effect. In this specific example, we do not like to have many King X bluffs in our range because we are blocking a part of his weak combos, which are King 10, King 9, etc. So 5-4 is a better bluff than King 10. In other examples, we will see the opposite result, meaning that combos that are better in absolute strength will be much better bluffs. Okay, so here as we can see, we are bluffing, we are barreling the river 65%, and 70% of these are value hands, and the other are bluffs, and we prefer the 5-4, 6-5 type of hands to do that. Let's see another example. When river is 3 of spades. The difference with previous example is that we now have a bit more value combos, which are the 3x. Of course, you will say that we are not betting many 3x on the turn. As we can see here, on the turn, our 3x combos, like hands like 10-3 or king-3, are not high frequency bets, but still we bet them an amount of time. And here I would like to mention something, that it is pretty impossible to implement and learn these exact strategies, because we are just humans, and the human mind can work like a computer, can't memorize all these. For example, king 3, as we can see, is a bet around 15 or 20% of the time. It means that we have to randomize it, and it's pretty tough. So our job is to understand why we do some things and try to get the most of it. So here, this difference, as you can see here, when river is a 3 of spades, the barrel frequency is 50%, but when river is 7 of spades, the barrel frequency is 64%. This is because we have a bit more value hands in our range. And that's it. So our value bets here are queen x, jack x, 3x, and our bluffs, again, high frequency with non-showdown busted draws and total air hands. And now, as you can see, we put some total air hands more because we have more value hands, so we can choose more bluffs. And again, we choose the best of them. So king 10, king 9 are not so good bluffs, like 5-4, 6-4, and now, as you can see, we bet middle hands like 10-8 or 9-8. Okay. When river is 9 of diamonds, now there are many draws that are completed on the river, so we have more value hands to bet. It means that we can choose more bluffs. Also, our value bets are again queen x, jack x, but with medium frequency now, because we also have flushes and straights here. And why we want to bet with medium frequency queen x and jack x? It's not only that our opponent hits some value hands in this river, but also that we would like to have a well protected check call range in this spot. So when river is 9 of diamonds, we would like to have some queen x to be able to check call, and some jack x too to check call button bet. And our bluffs at this point are our 10x, ace-x, and high frequency when we have a diamond. Ace-x now does not have very good showdown value for obvious reasons. These hands are good bluffs because we block the nut flush draw, and busted low draws again are still very good bluffs. Okay. And last river is ace of hearts. Now, as we can see, we do not have so many value hands. We still have some two-pair and straights, some hands that improved, like 5-4 are now value bets, and we have to pick carefully our bluffs. In this example, because ace of hearts is a hand that helps button range a lot. Now button has a lot of ace-x, one pair ace, and some straights too. We would like to pick carefully our bluffs. So king x in this example becomes a very good bluff, because we block a part of our opponent nuts, and same time comparing to a hand like 6-4, which was a very good bluff in the previous examples. Now king, as you can see here, it isn't very clear, but hands like king 4, king 5, even if we have low pairs like king 3, king deuce, are still good bluffs, are very good bluffs, and these hands like 6-5 and 6-4 are not so good like in the previous examples. So our value, our total betting range is lower comparing to the previous examples. We have 16% of betting range, and again here we have to pick some bluffs, which are not many, and we pick the best of them. Okay. And last thing about this example is the delay probe. The delay probe is the river bet only when the action is check flop and check turn, which are our strategy in certain rivers. And I put 10 hearts as the river is 10 of hearts. So we have to see, first of all, how often we bet. We bet 12% of the time. We do not have many value hands because a lot of them we bet a lot of them on the turn. We still have some queen X that we check twice and some jack X, and as you can see, these are our value bets on the river. Jack X with lower frequency because this river 10, sorry, is not a brick. Is a hand that helps button range. Button completes a lot of good hands. So we have to be careful. If river was a 7 of hearts, it would be much different. Then with jack X we are going to bet very high frequency. Our bluffs, which are our bluffs here? Our bluffs here are king X and 9X. Again, removal effect is very important at this point. Having a king X or 9X, we block value buttons, value part. So we would like to pick these bluffs and not some other hands that do not do that. As you can see, king X and 9X are the best bluffs. 9-8, for example, is our best bluff. Okay. Let's go to the second hand. Second hand is heads up big blind versus small blind, 17 big blinds, deep, limped pots, and let's see the real hand. I think it's this. So it's a limp pot. We have 10-6 and small blind checks, and now we have to choose. We have to decide again. We have to choose our bluffs and our value bets in this example. Our value bets are obviously king X, 7X, as you can see, and lower frequency 4X, the third pair. Our bluffs, again, it is obvious that we have some draws, some flush draws, but not a lot of them. We have some, but this is a pretty dry board. There are not many draws. There are some flush draws and some straight draws. We will bet them with high frequency, but also if we only bet straight draws and flush draws, then we under bluffing in this spot. We need to put some other hands, and we choose this middle type of hands like jack 8 and 10-9, which have very good equity versus 7X or 4X that opponent could have, or deuce X. And that's the reason that hands like jack 9, 10-9 are high frequency bets. Let's see some rivers. When river is jack of hearts, our value bets, king X plus, Jack X and 7X. We value bet some 7X too. And our bluffs are Queen X, 10X, 9X. And these 6-3, 6-5, 8-6 type of hands are low frequency bluffs. Again, we have to consider which are our best bluffs, and we don't, it's a mistake if we think that 6-3 is the worst absolute strength hand, so we need to bluff it. It's more important to think other parameters like is our hand block opponent weak range? If yes, then it's not a good bluff. And in this case, this type of hands in this board are blocking a lot our opponent weak range. 6-3, 6-5, 8-6 block our opponent draws and weak pairs, which is the range that we target to fold. So our best bluffs become hands that do not have good showdown value and at the same time do not block this weak opponent part. These hands are Queen X, 10X and 9X. As you can see, these are our best bluffs here. When a river is 6 of diamonds, the flush draw is not completed, but there are some straights that are completed, and we have a lot of 6X. So as you can see, hands like 6-3, 6-5 improve to pair, and for that reason we have to bluff more with other combos. Our value bets are still King X and 7X, King X plus and 7X, and our bluffs now, we still bluff with some middle type of hands like Jack 8, Jack 9, but not with the same frequency like in the previous example. The reason is that now we have some combos that are better, and these are 5X and 3X combos, and the reason for that is that these combos block opponents' nut range. Okay, so for example, a hand like 8-5 is a good bluff because 8-5, sorry, is a straight, but a hand like 9-5, 9-5 is a hand that block some good opponent's hands, and the same is with some 3X combos like 9-3 or Jack 3. All these combos are good, as you can see. Okay, let's continue. Barrel when river is king of hearts. We value bet King X plus and 7X. These are our value bets. And again, we bluff those who do not block opponent weak range. Like 10-9 is a good bluff. As you can see here, there are not very favorite hands that we bluff, but there are some hands that are a bit better than others, like 10-9 and 10-8, comparing to 6-3 or 5-3. Again, it's the same concept. We would like our opponent to have a lot of draws in this structure, a lot of weak hands like 4-3, for example, and he has to fold some of them. So if we have these hands, it means that we block them, and it's more unlikely that he has these hands and he has something else. So okay, last example. No, it's not. It's a delay probe example. The action is check flop, check turn, and we are on the river. We have to decide if we want to bet or not. Our value bets are any King X that we didn't bet on the turn. Obviously our Jack X are very good value bets. 7X too are strong enough, and some 4X with lower frequency. Our bluffs here are hands that never win, and hands like 6X and 5X are the best combos here, as you can see. hands with no showdown value. For example, Queen 10 hand has good showdown value in this spot, and we don't want to bluff this hand. And a hand like let's find a good hand like 5-3, for example, is a hand that is not that high as expected, but other hands like 9-5, 9-6 are good bluffs. Middle hands with no showdown value are still good bluffs, like 10-8, 9-8. Okay, and that's it. And let's go to the last hand, which is heads up big blind versus small blind situation. 19 big blinds, mini raise spot. Flop is, let's find the real hand. Flop is 5-4-3 with a flush draw. Opponent checks and 7 of clubs, which complete straights. And we have to decide which are good hands to bluff and which are not. First of all, let's start with our value bets. Obviously, are straights the main part of our value bets, and some pairs like 7x, some 5x, some flush draws with pair are the value bets, and overall we bet 58.39%. Our bluffs, obviously we have a lot of draws here. We have straight draws, some straight draws with 8x, some flush draws, which are our best bluffs, and 2 overs are also good bluffs like 10-9, Jack-9 with no showdown value. Like in the real example we had Queen 10, which is a good bluff as we can see 70% of the time, around 70% of the time. And let's see some rivers. In this example here, I bet 2 big blinds and opponent folds. So, when river is a 10 of hearts, the flush is not completed, and our value bets are mainly straights. Someone could say that maybe we have to bet some 10x2 here, but we have also to protect our check call range. It means that when we have 10, we would prefer to check call. As we can see, 10x are not value bets here. And so our value bets are straights, and our bluffs, we don't have any more many low cards, so we need to bluff with Jack X, King X, Queen X, and these are our best bluffs in this spot, like King 2 off, Queen 2 off are very good bluffs. As we can see, 8x are not very good bluffs, and the reason for that is again the same. The removal effect is very important. We would like our opponent to have 8x in his range, and when we have 8x, we block it a bit. So these 8x combos are not good, are not so good bluffs like hands like King 9 off, as we can see, King 2 off, and that's it. When river is king of hearts, now our value bets are against straights. This is something that it will not change a lot in this type of board. Our main value bets are straights in many rivers. Our bluffs, our best bluffs again are Queen X, Jack X, 10x, and 8x for the same reason like the previous example is not a very good bluff. And when river is deuce of clubs, we value bet our straights, and mainly the straights with 6x, and we bluff high cards and low pairs. As we can see, good bluffs here some good bluffs that we can put in our bluffing range are deuce X combos. We still bluff with Jack 9, Jack 10, 10 9. These are our best bluffs. For obvious reasons, we don't want to bluff with 8x. And last example is Queen of Spades. Now Queen of Spades completes the flush draw, So we have a lot of flushes in our 10 probe range, and this is the main part of our value bets. We still value bet our straights, but not 100%, because we would like to have to protect our check call range in this spot. So as you can see here, straights are not 100% value bets like in the previous examples, because we have stronger value bets. And again, our bluffs are high cards and some deuce X. As you can see here, Jack 10 off, Jack 9 off are still, and 10 9 off are still our best bluffs. An example of delay probe. So the action on the turn is check check. River is 10 of hearts. We value bet 10x, 7x straights and 2 pairs. Now as you can see, our value bet range is much higher in terms of strength combos. We do not bet only straights because we do not have a lot of straights. So what we value bet are 10x, are very good pairs in this situation. Any 2 pair, 10x and 7x, and we bluff with Queen X, Jack X, King X and 9x, which are the hands that almost never win in this board structure, and we need to bluff them, and these are our best bluffs. Also, it's interesting, as you can see, if we have any 8x in this spot, we bluff 100% here, because we can assume that opponent do not have, I mean, the removal effect now is not so important, because the turn action was check check, meaning that opponent shouldn't have a lot of 8x anymore. So yeah, we bet now our 8x as bluffs. And that's it. So as a summary, I believe that I would like to encourage you work a lot on your default game plan. From my experience so far, many players do not know what to do in certain board structures. They don't know what sizing they should bet, what hands they should bet. They don't know what is their opponent range and how fold equity do they have versus this range. Building a very well-structured game plan will help you not only protect your range by being exploited, but also will help you find out which are the situations that you can deviate from that and start exploiting your opponent. That's it for guys. I don't have to add something else for this video. I hope that you will find it useful, and obviously I would like you to ask everything that you didn't understand, and you can contact me via Skype. And also I would like to tell you that I will prepare more videos at the future. I'm not very expert, as maybe you understood, with creating videos, and my English is not great, but I will do my best to help you improve your thinking process, and maybe encourage you start working with softwares like Pio, start understanding the logic behind this. and at the end be improve your game and play higher stakes. Okay guys, thank you very much. I hope that you will like it. We will talk soon. Bye.